So today we're going to talk about portals, and Lisa has a beautiful story to tell us about that. But we just came through a massive portal, and there are a lot of real, like, portals that you can look at and feel that we're going to start talking about today. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
How are
So
you?
I'm actually awesome. I'm actually in the Yucatan at
Nice.
everyone's calling it Gulf of Mexico, but I guess according to Google Maps, it's actually Gulf of America now. So I'm in an area that is called Progresso. It's outside of
Oh,
Merida. Yes.
Progresso soup.
I know, that's what I was thinking of. So it's been very interesting. It's been very interesting because when my friend and I arrived here, it was so ungrounded, and she's not aware of anything, like none of this. And she's like, "What's going on? It doesn't even feel like I'm here." And it took us 2 weeks to get grounded and feel like we were here. And even like this whole place was filled with, I use the term NPCs, like no one would look us in the eye. Usually when I travel, people will connect and will meet people easily, go to dinner, and it was nothing for 2 weeks. And we were both looking at each other like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Uh,
think I had to call you because you were like, yeah, that it's not grounded. It was literally like being in a place that was doing this. It was
mhm.
wild.
I could see the grid. So like the grid is was really wavy, and it was being so affected by any kind of energetics that were coming through, and it didn't really feel like there were any actual people there except for you and your friend. And I know that you've met a few people at this point, but I feel like you brought them in.
As a matter of fact, it was really funny because um, my friend and I were in the square. It's like a 10-minute walk, and they had these like little outdoor restaurants. They're just like little, um, I don't know, like
Like street food kind of.
yeah, like street food. And we were sitting there, and this man in his 80s just comes up to us and said, "May I join you?" And we're like, "Okay." We were getting ready to leave, so we sat down, and he'd been living here for 25 years, and he was giving us like places to go, things to do, and then he recommended a restaurant in the town of Progresso, which is like a 20-minute ride to get there. So we go with this other couple, and we literally are standing there waiting for our table, and he shows up with a bunch of other people, like right there. I was like, "Are you the only other human that's here?"
Yeah. Yeah. He's one of the, well, and I don't know if he was there before you guys
Oh,
got there. Like he may have been, I feel like he was kind of an elemental in the
oh,
area, actually. And he actually had like an angelic assistant when you showed up come in because you asked for that
oh, wow. That's
because
so
you
funny.
needed a guide. And he was perfect because he was non-threatening.
Exactly.
Now he's 80 years old.
Yep.
So, yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'll tell you all the things about what to do around here." So, he helped you actually build out the grid
Oh,
somewhat
wow.
just by giving you ideas. The grid is much more stable. It's still a little wavy down there.
Yeah.
And when you go, it will become wavy again.
Amazing.
Mhm.
They say that this area is actually where it's one of the safest areas in Mexico because the cartel, I think they either have their second homes or they like have an agreement that they don't touch this area. And I think it's also their children go to school here. There's a lot of beach homes here. And it's strange because you see these big, beautiful like mansions on the water and condos, and then a block or two in, it's rubble.
Yeah, I think they plan on rebuilding it.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Or they did. because I feel like a lot of them are gone.
Yeah, they're
So,
like we met a couple who are in a condo, like a whole big condo. They're the only ones in the entire condo. There's no one else there. It's empty.
yeah, I feel like most of the cartel is like at
Yeah.
this point. So there really isn't anybody inhabiting there. And they were kind of like, holding on to so much darkness anyway. And then the portal that's nearby was getting more and more like wonky, like it
Right.
wasn't formed correctly.
Yeah, I was taking photos because I have a balcony that overlooks the ocean, and I was just taking pictures, and I was like, oh, that looks like a portal. So I showed Honey the photo, and she said, yeah, it's an interdimensional and intergalactic um, portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
it's
like,
like a
oh,
tube. So it's like a tube. So when you travel through the universe, you're traveling through the fascia of God source, basically. And it's mapped. Like we know the ways as a soul, and the ETs definitely know the way. But that piece of fascia was kind of becoming so wavy because the area was so wavy. But you've shored it up at this point. They really like you. They're very happy with you because you've created it to be strong again. And even though the area will become wavy again, the portal will stay.
okay, so that's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask though. So the portal is stable. It's interesting because I was having so many issues with the electricity here, like light bulbs shorting on and off in several different rooms at different times. My microphone was doing all kinds of crazy things, and it seems to have stabilized for now, but to a point where my friend who I'm with contacted the owners. They're going to bring an electrician in to make sure everything's okay. And I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, I literally, this is clairaudience, it wasn't someone outside. There was a whistle inside my head. And I was like, huh, someone's trying to get my attention.
Yeah, that was one of the ETs. You do have one that's like a protector being
Yep.
that's kind of hanging out with you because they don't really love the area.
Yeah.
Like they just go in and out there. They don't hang out in that area. So you've got one that's kind of following you around
Yeah.
and making sure that you're good, you
Yep.
know, because they're not thrilled with the area. He feels really big.
You know, it's so funny because I was interviewing Liz Perkins.
Mhm.
And she said, oh my God, there's a huge extraterrestrial right behind you. So she saw him
Yeah.
too.
Kind of feels like one of those, Easter Island.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of feels like one of those beings,
Oh, wow.
that are all over the place, those statues.
Interesting. So they're traveling. So you said some are traveling interdimensionally. So that you said those are the ones that are here on this Earth plane.
Yeah.
They're leaving, but they're not they're not bad or good. They're just it's like
No, they
another.
just want to go places. And that was one of their favorite portals.
Okay.
And it wasn't working right. So they were really happy that you came and fixed it, basically. And the other ones, the ETs, it's just like, there's ETs that live here and ETs that don't. And they've been using that and it hasn't been working. It's been flawed as the thing that comes in, just kind of out of whack from the energy.
Wow. So this is now stabilized, even though, so it's interesting when you think about the matrix being wobbly. Where else is it wobbly? I mean, is the whole matrix like this, or is it just certain areas?
Um, that was a bigger part because of who was there. That was a bigger part of the distorted matrix
Okay.
that area. Because they kind of overlaid with distortions, and that distorted matrix is falling apart right now. It doesn't really feel like the nature part of it is that present. So I don't know, like, if there's a whole lot of big trees or not, or it just doesn't feel that present. So it's not really built.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of grids, like with houses and buildings, and some are in decent condition and some are like rubble. It's just,
Yeah. So that whole area may start to just like fade out
yeah,
when you go. I mean, it could even become more like part of the ocean again, you know. We'll just have to see what it looks like, but it
yeah.
doesn't feel very present. It's not solid.
Yeah, we get a lot of cruise lines here because there's a lot of the Mayan ruins and something called
Oh,
cenotes. So there are these freshwater like ponds, but inside caves and in these really beautiful areas. So
that'll
this whole
stay.
area, yeah, that is prevalent here. So those are the things that I've been trying to go visit and just trying to
Yeah.
enjoy the sunshine. But yeah, I haven't really, like last year felt really magical being in Mexico and so much flora and fauna and birds everywhere. And I don't, it's so quiet here. I see pelicans diving. There's like seagulls and a couple of things, but I don't hear the birds like I did. It's very desolate. It's
Yeah,
really,
there's not enough nature there to
yeah,
keep it solid once you go. And
yeah,
I think the energy, the nature didn't really like the energy of the people that were there.
yeah, yeah. Because even we went into the town of Merida. I was telling you this. You have these streets where they're, supposedly higher end, where the old historic section is. But you go from store to store and it's the same store. There's one person working, no one's in them, like shopping. It's the same Mexican traditional clothing in every single store. Like you pass, there's like, and I'm like, who's buying all this stuff? Who's going into all these? The streets are empty. There's no one in there.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. It's a
It feels
really,
like NPC land there.
yeah, it feels like that. Um, it's definitely been an incredible experience from seeing this, and saying, wow, this is what it feels like to be where the matrix is falling apart.
Hmm.
Um, you can feel it. And I mean, even my friend who doesn't know any of this was like, what's going on? She could not get, it took us 2 weeks. So that was really, so when you say I rebuilt it, that's really at night when I'm sleeping, or it's just energetically my energy was done.
Both.
Both.
Yeah. I think you've been working on it at night every night for a little while.
Yeah.
And you've also just your energy, because you're an architect soul. You've been building it out with your energetics and grids, the matrix looks like a grid. It looks like turkey wire laid out basically. So if you don't know what turkey wire is, like it's like rectangles and basically it's what people keep their turkeys in a pen with. And it's not chicken wire. Chicken wire is little,
This
um
rounder. Yeah.
yeah, it's more round. Now there are lots and lots of octagons everywhere, but the basic grid is just like squares going out,
Mm-hmm.
squares and rectangles. And you've been shoring up the basic grid just so that you can be comfortable there.
Yeah. And I usually go to bed at like 11:30 at night. Like I usually have so much energy. I've been exhausted and like getting to bed at 8:30. Like that's unheard of for me. And sleeping at least 2 more hours than I normally do. So I'm definitely much more tired here.
Yeah, I'm more tired too. I think it's part of
The energy.
shifting into the fire horse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also you're expending a lot of energy being there. So you want to go somewhere where you can absorb some energy next. That's
Yes.
what I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that it will stay here the whole time. We have it reserved for 2 months, but I'd like to get to some other places.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like that would be really good. Um, it feels like so the older gentleman feels like he's connected to the Mayan ruins
Hmm.
and he's elemental. But in order for him to interact with you, he needed like an angelic partner to come in and help him with that, which he did and which you requested. So he and a few other people are connected to the Mayan stuff, but in general, it's like a blank area.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like that. It totally feels like that.
Yeah, it's
And
almost like you're floating in space out there.
yeah,
Like,
I've never experienced anything like this before, ever. I either go to a place and I either love it or I hate it. This has been just weird, is the only way I can explain it. I don't hate it. It's just there. It's nice because it's warm and I'm on the beach and seeing new things, but it's not a place that I'd want to come back to.
uh-uh.
It probably
No,
won't be here.
no, it will probably. I mean, I see those buildings as basically like they could just go, they could just crumble.
Yeah.
They're just like held up by false matrix type. And when you guys leave, what's it going to
Yeah.
look like? It's just going to be like really desolate.
Yeah.
But the fascia will stay, that portal will stay, the Mayan ruins will stay, but you're basically staying in part of the false matrix
Yeah.
right now. So I don't feel like it's going to stay there.
So my question is because they're saying that we're getting blasted right now, and we keep having these new timeline shifts and everything. So I'm like, what does that mean for this area? Like while
Um,
I'm here, or it's
you'll be
just
fine
totally,
while you're there because you're controlling it,
yeah,
but you could be tired,
yeah,
you could stay tired.
yeah,
So, and when you go, it's just going to get all wacky again.
yeah,
And the 80-year-old guy will go back to not having an angelic with him,
yeah,
following him around and helping him like communicate with you. Um, because you may see him a few more times, but in general, yeah, I mean, it's just feels like a blank down there.
yeah. Yeah, it's for anyone, I don't even have the words to explain it. It's just like you're just here. But there's like you're used to feeling energy from places. I don't feel energy from the places. I don't feel
No,
it from the trees. I don't feel it from the water. Uh, It's 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 odd. It's really strange.
like a hologram. It's
Yeah.
like the place is an NPC
Yes.
when you're used to, like the other day, I said hi to this lady. She just looked at me.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, excuse me," to her because I needed to grab something because it was in the grocery store. And she just looked at me and she just moved, but she didn't say a word. She acted totally weird. And I realized later she was a hologram. I was like, what is up with that? Like she couldn't even say hi or, and and then she would look at me and then look away, look at me
That's
and
a
look away.
perfect way to describe, like, I'm in a condo association, and I said to Honey, I'm here, and usually I like make friends very easily just to have conversations, or we invite people over to have a drink, or we'll go to dinner with people, and they don't even look at you in the eye. They're with their own group. They don't engage. It's like it's like they're in their own little world. You can't even engage with them. And that's like everyone. It's like, yeah, it's a weird, weird place. It's like I'm inside a video game and everyone's playing their parts and doing their, but they don't even really see me.
You are in a video game. I mean, it's a hologram.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like in the
It's,
holodeck on Star Trek. And the
it,
only thing that was needed was for you to fix the portal.
yeah,
And even the ruins, they're real,
yeah,
but they've been deserted for so long.
yeah,
And there's only a few elementals there kind of
yeah.
guarding it. So
But what's
it's
even
really blank.
interesting is you can see, like when you go to some of them, the Spaniards or the church actually went in and took the stones and would build cathedrals or ch little churches right in the middle of the ruins. That was in one of them. Yeah, because they had to do that. I saw that happen in Egypt too, in one of the palace, in one of the places that we went, one of the temples. They actually took the stones and built a church on top of the temple, or like in part of it. Yeah,
It's like the Catholics taking over.
yeah, yeah. So I just saw something about this is so weird. So if you look at the Spanish flag, it's the same colors as the Italian flag. So the Romans had come in and taken
Oh,
over.
yeah.
So this was owned by the Jesuits,
Mhm.
like they took over. So their energy, the Jesuit energy is leaving this entire country.
Yeah. And the whole, completely everywhere. I know I've seen pictures of Mexico City and there's some Tartarian architecture
Yeah,
there, and even down like in Argentina, like as the whole Americas,
yeah,
that was all inhabited by Tartarian people. And before that came Rome, and Rome and Tartaria kind of had like kind of a switch over, where they were kind of interacting.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
I just saw something yesterday where they talked about Abraham Lincoln was a Tartarian, and the Tartarians were actually Moors. They were dark skinned,
yeah.
and that they whitewashed our history. A
Mhm.
lot of our presidents and people, they were all dark and they were all Tartarians.
Yeah. Yeah. Richard and I actually did a show the other day that
Yeah,
brought up a lot of that too.
yeah. Oh, I have to go see that.
Yeah. It was the live show on my channel.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool,
So
cool.
it's amazing right now, the information that's coming out. And I think people are going to be really shocked. I think people that have felt suppressed, they're going to be like, oh, we were the kings and queens of old, you know,
Yeah,
some of them. And then some of them, there were also Caucasian that were doing the same thing, but they just decided to divide everybody. So they picked color as a reason, which it was never a reason
no.
for.
It's so interesting because then I also saw this thing about Greenland and then this like this ancient spaceship that's there, and they said that that actually has the capability of controlling the weather and all of the grids. And so that's been why there's been such a fight over Greenland is actually to get to that technology. And of late, the snow melted and exposed this giant ship.
Yeah.
And so that's why the US wants Greenland.
Mhm. That's one of the reasons. There's also that ancient Stargate, which you already talked about too,
Yeah. Yeah.
earlier. There's a lot of stuff going on in Greenland, and
Yeah.
it's another gateway out, kind
Yeah.
of, like it's
Yeah.
another way out. There's some ways to get out of this area. Um, and I feel like it's a very like solid, beautiful technology, very huge, very old. Yeah.
Yeah. It's helping create the Golden Dome that they were talking about, and that's going to protect the whole North American corridor. So that's Canada all the way down through Mexico.
I actually think the Golden Dome is a metaphor for the Golden Age.
Oh, really? Because they were
Yeah,
showing that as actually a dome of some sort.
I don't think
No.
there will be. I think they're like showing us that we've been in a dome
Okay.
and it's like a calm. I don't think we'll have any more domes unless they're a building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
because we have the firmament. We don't need a dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it's so interesting also that I mean, I'm seeing so much stuff spilling out and actual it's hard because on X they're showing actual videos from the Epstein files and everything, like graphic and it hits me and then I'm like, oh, I can't even go on there anymore. Um, but I was with people out to dinner last night and they're like, where do you get all this information? Because they're watching conventional news, and I'm like, they're not releasing the information on the news channels. So, if this information is supposed to wake people up, when is this going to actually hit the news? Because they didn't even know about like Prince Andrew getting arrested. They didn't know, like, none of that is being broadcast.
Um, I feel like we're close to arrests,
Well,
and
he
they'll
just got
know when the
arrested. Yeah.
arrests begin. They'll
Yeah.
know. They'll never know all of it if all they do is watch the regular media.
Yeah.
Um, but some of the media will just go away. Like NPR has lost their funding. Was it, what is that one that public PBS?
PBS. Yeah. That's
They've
all.
lost their funding. Those companies they're just gone. And then I think CNN will go and like a lot of them will just go. We don't need them anymore anyway. So, but it's all over TikTok. It's all over Facebook. It's all over Instagram and it's all over X. So
Right.
it's everywhere. If they choose to not look at anything else but the regular news,
Yeah.
then it makes me wonder what they're like. Are they an NPC? Are they an interim person for you just to hang out with at the moment? Who are they really? If they have no awareness of that stuff, like it's amazing.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Because, of course, they live in the place where my son is moving to this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll help me with my son.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of people that it's their beginning of their awakening right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to conjecture on like all people and tune into them because some people are just becoming aware
Yeah.
and they're the ones who will like bring up the rear of the timeline, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. Nobody has to be at the same position, that everybody else is. That's a really old, boring concept of the way everything works, which we've all learned that you can't make somebody figure it out.
Exactly.
So, so crazy right now, though.
It
I'm
is.
so excited for everything. And him being arrested was a really good indicator that things are shifting and they're going to
Oh, yeah.
start to speed up. And that's what I see. Like we're going to gain more and more and more momentum as we go through this, and we're in that fire horse now.
Yeah.
So,
It's so cool to watch like the whole thing with silver and how the banks are really creating their own demise out of their own greed, watching
yeah,
them just be stupid, like
yeah,
completely stupid and completely undermine themselves because they just can't help themselves. So it's like watching this movie, literally movie of these banks taking themselves down by selling all these shorts and then trying to manipulate the market and rip all these people off. And
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see all that finally exposed.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. And I think there will be a lot of banking that gets exposed. There will be a new money system, which is already there. So they'll be switching over to that. How long do these banks really stay in our lives? I feel like they'll be an ever shrinking thing. But they will help a lot of people at first with like their straw man account, all kinds of different things like that. But they will be wealth managers. That's why they rebranded themselves as wealth managers.
Yeah.
And they will go back to the more Tartarian type of banking, which is okay, I just did this for you. I'm charging you that much. I just did this for you. I'm sitting down with you. This is going to cost you $100, that kind of thing. It won't be interest. There will be no loans. You won't need them.
Yeah.
So they'll just be charging for the things that they're actually doing for you. And that's how banks will make money. But that model will we just won't need it the further we go into, um, the years and the golden age, the less we're going to need banks at all.
It's been interesting for me with my ex-husband working on Wall Street and how the compensation would just soar. I reap the benefits of it. I'm not complaining from that
Yeah.
standpoint, but it was like I was working my butt off and I was getting a 10% annual raise. And I remember the first couple of years he was making 25% a quarter. He was doubling everything. And I
Yeah.
was like, how does this happen? Like
Because it's
how
a
does
gambling game.
yeah, it was
The
insane.
stock market is all gambling.
But it's controlled on the other end, and
Yeah.
you can see it now with the NFL, and all the sports too. It's all controlled, and that's going to start coming out. There, people are going to be crushed because their whole lives are around their sports teams.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's starting to come out now. What I've noticed is the really big podcasters are telling all the things. So Joe Rogan, there's this other guy, I can't remember his name, and Tucker Carlson. So there's three of them that are really putting everything out.
I think Tucker just got arrested or detained in Israel yesterday.
Really? Hmm.
I saw some, it's hard to know what's true and what's not true, but he
Yeah,
went
we'll
there
have to
to,
look, but
yeah, he went to interview someone and then he was detained. Because I don't think they
interesting.
wanted him to put out what the about the interview.
Well, I'm sure that's all part of the narrative.
Yeah. Yeah, because now everyone, don't look.
Yeah.
Don't
And
look at the
now they're
white
going to
elephant in
look.
the middle of the room. Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
everything is getting very exciting. And I've noticed that a lot of us are tired. A lot of us are like our bodies are shifting. I know I've been going and getting body work all the time. Like that's my new thing. And just kind of continuously shifting
Yeah.
what I'm doing for the betterment of health. And I will say next week that Lisa and I are doing our quantum healing. So if you
Yes.
want to be a part of that, we'll have the link below. Quantum is getting more and more interesting, and
Yeah.
those healings are getting more and more intense and stronger, I think,
Yeah.
every time we do them. So that's been really interesting. And you're healing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm noticing old injuries are starting to ache. Like
Mhm.
all of a sudden, I'm like, why is this hurting me? It hasn't hurt me. Like, it's weird. My lower back used to hurt me as a child a lot. Like it could be incapacitating. And all of a sudden, since I've been here, it's really tight, like it was as a little girl. And I was like, that's interesting. What do I need to clear? So I'm like going back into what's there for that's left. or, other places where I've hurt myself, or just I feel like they're exponentially um, irritated and agitated.
Mhm. I was playing with the little piece of plastic. It just went in my tea.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so for people to know, the quantum healing is next Thursday, the 26th of January. It's at 12 and 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You
Eastern.
can go Eastern, yeah, and you can go to one or you can go to both. But yeah, people are having amazing healings and even their pets. So you can
Yeah,
bring your dogs and your cats and any other animals that you have. People are having really amazing results.
they are. They're doing amazing. And they're really, really kind of figuring it out too. That they're creating their reality
Yeah.
and they're starting to really let go of a lot of big stuff. So it's been really beautiful
Yeah.
what's going on. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
I do too. I'm so grateful. It's been an amazing experience watching. I mean, a lot of the same people come back month
Oh,
after
yeah. And it
month,
is a
and
subscription.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
$44.
Yeah.
So we tried to make it really reasonable so it's accessible to everyone. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. We love it. And we are excited to see you guys. And we hope that you enjoyed this portal conversation.
I know this bizarre, weird conversation. I tell
Yeah.
you,
Oh,
it's a
it's such
very
a weird
experience.
space that you're in right there. But also, there's a lot of them like that. There's a lot of places that won't really be present pretty soon.
So interesting. So
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, so I'm hanging in there for the sunshine and the warmth.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you have lots of ET friends there that are very
Yeah.
happy. Yeah.
I'm glad that I could play a part because that's really meaningful to me.
Hmm.
If I can
Yeah.
help out in any way,
Yeah. They're
it's
grateful.
cool.
So,
Wow.
yeah. Thank you, Lisa. This was so fun.
I know. Thank you. I
Yeah.
so appreciate it.
All right. We love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.